I was right.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everybody. So I have a motion to open up town board meeting September 25th, 2025.
So moved.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
First item on the agenda is the public hearing for introductory law number 5. Could I have a motion to open up the public hearing for introductory law number 5 of 2025?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
So, any comments from the board on it? It's the tax levy motion.
I have no comment. No, I don't have any.
Anybody from the public like to speak on
Well, yeah, Mr. Petro, my name is Chris Healy, I'm a resident of the town of Goshen, and just to clarify, we're talking about, last meeting, we talked about a cap levy that's 2%,
it? Correct.
and we said that it's possible that this year that we go over the 2%,
Correct.
and we don't actually have a budget to talk about on this, just that we're recognizing that we could go over the 2% this year.
Correct.
Understood, and thank you.
Neil?
Yeah.
Thank you. Neil Halloran. I'm just a little bit disappointed that we're at this point without any discussion about why we think we're gonna go over that amount. Because I haven't heard any justification for a lot of things. First question I have is, how many pilots do we have in town?
Jen, you know it off the top of your head before I look for it? I know I got it in here. Six, 5, 11,
Looks like it's 12.
12.
Okay, so the next follow-up to that, obviously, is that if we don't raise taxes rates at all this year, how much more are we gonna get from the pilots next year as a result of the pilot agreement?
You're asking in percentage or in dollars?
Dollars.
I don't have that.
Because I think the percentages are gonna be different depending on which pilot it is.
Right.
Correct. Each pilot is set to an agreement in so many years, and each year it changes, it increases slightly.
Right.
Some actually don't increase much, but, yes, they increase
Yeah.
a little bit.
So I would think that that's part of making this decision about whether we might have to extend the 2%, because if we get, and I don't know the numbers at all, if we get an extra $200,000 from the pilots, automatically, just because of the increase in the pilots, then we have to take into account that we're gonna get $200,000 more next year without raising the taxes at all.
But that's already been accounted for in the budget.
Okay, and well, obviously, we're doing this in the dark because the budget's not online.
But we're not doing anything other than saying there's a potential chance that we're gonna go over it, so just in the event that we're gonna go over it, we're passing a local law. We did it last year too.
I'm aware you did it last year,
What?
and I still think it just seems like you're putting the cart before the horse.
I
But,
don't,
okay,
We have to put the
We
cart
have
before
to,
the horse.
yeah.
I hear that.
We have no choice.
It's by association of town law.
I understand that if you think it's possibly gonna go over it. I think the town board could also be in a position of saying, we don't think we're gonna have to go over it. So the next question is, how much have we collected in tipping fees this year?
we haven't collected anything in tipping fees,
Why haven't we?
because it doesn't go into effect until they're finished, they go through the planning board process.
No, that's wrong, because it's
Okay.
been in our law forever.
Well, you were here, did you collect any while you were here?
I was not on the town board since I was here. The tipping fees are in our law now, they've been in our law
Neil,
forever.
Neil,
and-
I don't wanna argue with you,
I know
you know
you
what the tipping fees were, they were 5 cents a ton, we
No.
would've collected $20 a quarter.
That's not correct at all.
Okay, what were they?
5 cents a ton would be $15 a day right now, and whatever, $75 a week. But it's not that, it's over $1 a ton.
It is not,
It was there before, and these two gentlemen were there when they started negotiating it years ago, and then it just dropped.
it was 5 cents a ton, that's what was in their agreement.
No, it was not in the law. The law's not written that way. In fact, you're supposed to collect the tipping fee every month.
I was never signed that agreement.
It doesn't have to be an agreement, it has to be the law. And the law is there, right? What about the room tax? We have room tax that we collect.
Yes, we have room tax that we collect.
And how much are we collecting on that?
$1.1 million a year.
And how much do we expect next year?
1.1 million, it's flat,
Okay.
maybe even less.
We just had a canine, group that we organized, and we had the canine, for what you said at the, Chamber of Commerce, we send that canine up to Legoland, so. Because, doesn't it go up to skate, Legoland or
Yes,
something?
that's correct.
And so my question is, how much are we charging for that canine to be up at Legoland?
It's part of the duty, it's part of their process of going up there to protect Legolands. Why are we protecting Legolands, you're gonna ask me, right?
No, I'm not gonna, I think we have to certainly back up Legoland, Legoland's
Yeah.
protecting
You're,
itself.
you're getting agitated for something that, you know, I'm not sure why you're so agitated, because we're passing a local law that we passed last year and the year before. Last year, we didn't go over it. 2 years ago, we lowered it. I'm just not sure why you're so, first of all, it's a process that has to be done, okay? It has to be done at a certain time frame while we're going through the tentative, preliminary, and final. It has to be done, because if we don't do it, then we're mandatory to stay under the 2%, and we may not be able to do that this year.
And what, all I'm saying, I understand that, and there are other municipalities who don't go and pass this law so they can exceed the cap. And all I'm saying is, why are we automatically,
What
every year,
municipalities
why are
don't
we
pass it?
automatically saying, we're gonna pass this law every year, so we can exceed the cap, if we don't even know?
Because we have
That's-
to be prepared to possibly exceed.
We're being prepared, that's correct, Neil.
Yeah, that sounds like a lazy way of doing it. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Would anybody else like to speak? He can't speak, so,
I was just gonna ask if the briefcase could be put down so the public could see the,
what's that?
I was gonna ask if he could put the briefcase down just so they could see it.
Ah, okay.
Thank you.
So they could see the flag? Okay.
Oh, no, so
No,
they
you're
could see
saying
it.
you.
Oh.
You're on the camera. See you.
I got it. I thought he was filming from there. I didn't even see those.
Put it back up.
Yeah, right. Hey.
Would anybody else like to speak? Very good.
All right, we need a motion to close.
Close the public hearing.
So move.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
We need a motion to adopt local law number 5, Town of Goshen, to adopt the budget for fiscal year commencing January 1st, 2026. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
We need a roll call?
Yes, please.
Sorry, Councilmember Caterina,
Aye.
Councilmember Lyons,
Aye.
Supervisor Petra,
Aye.
Councilmember Florio,
Aye.
Councilmember Gallo.
Aye.
First item on the agenda, review and discuss the 2026 tentative budget. So everybody has a copy of the tentative budget. Mary, when will we put it up to the public to view?
As soon as you adopt it, it becomes preliminary, and then I'll publish it on the website.
Okay. So you have a budget in front of you that, through a lot of hard work, has produced a budget with an increase, I'm sorry, I have it here, with an increase of 5.61% for the year. That means a person that is paying, whose house, assessed value of their house is $300,000 in the town of Goshen, their taxes are going up $104 a year. Hence, in the village, it would be a $47 increase. We've gone through this thing, we started out at 27%. Part of the problem is, we're looking at a reduction in our hotel tax. Legoland's closed for 2 months this year. So there's a reduction. We forecasted 1.1 million. We're trending about 950,000, Jen?
Yeah, I can give you that in 2 seconds.
And then, also we're trending at a lower amount this year for mortgage tax. Hence the problem that we have on the increase. And board members, taking a look at it, you guys have any issues?
We've all looked at it. I mean, we spent hours, each of us spent hours individually looking at it.
I do want to say, that I took a look to see where we are year over year. And since I own the house, I can pull my own records, which I did. In 2015, in the town of Goshen, my town tax bill was $3,611. In 2024, my tax bill was $3,389, a net reduction of a little over $300, and we certainly enhanced the services in this town. Police department has grown, the highway department has grown, the building department has grown. So I think fiscally, this board and the previous board have done a phenomenal job over the last 10 years in maintaining a tax rate that's affordable to live in the town of Goshen, and still being able to meet the needs of the roads and police department and building department. I know that everybody is a little excited about when you go over the tax, the 2% tax, and I know we're going over it by 3%, but I think overall the increase has to be understandable considering the growth that we have in this town on all of the departments. The tentative agreement will go up. You'll be able to take a look at it. But it was a lot of hard work by this entire board and a tremendous amount of work by Jen and her staff to get the numbers that we got down to and still be able to maintain the level of effort that we have to put on a daily basis to maintain the roads, to maintain the police department, to maintain the building department. So I hope that when you take a look at it, you could appreciate the hard work that we've done and take into consideration that this town has been fiscally responsible for the last 10 years to the tune of a reduction over 10 years and not an increase like other towns have. So, any other questions from the board? Any changes anybody wants to see in it?
Not yet.
I'd still like to
Yeah.
be looking at trying to
We'll go through the permanent.
hit the tax cap,
Right.
below the tax cap.
Well, we'll give it one more whirl. We'll give it
We've,
one more whirl.
all of us have been working on it, and
Yep.
we've all had the input, and, you know, when you look at the health insurance costs and the pension costs, you know, we like to think that we treat our employees very well. I mean, you can't get a better health insurance plan than we have, but as you folks out there know, health insurance is a very costly thing, and that's one of the issues that is, you know, causing this to be, at this particular point, to be above the tax cap.
We had 8% increase in health
I was
insurance
gonna
this year.
say, there was a 8% increase.
So an 8% increase in health insurance. We had quite honestly, Jen had worked really diligent. We had this thing down to almost 3%. And then we got the bad news from the state retirement fund that our retirement was going up by $70,000 this year, which we did not have forecasted. And we have no control over it. That's a number that they picked. Maybe they had a bad day in investing our money. I don't know. But it came down, it was $70,000 over budget from where we thought we were gonna be preliminarily. So that took us back up over 9%, and then we had to go back to the drawing board again. George came in, Phil came in, Melissa came in, spoke to Rick on the phone, and we made some adjustments, and, you know, some of the things we had to cut, we didn't really wanna cut, but we didn't wanna come in with a, you know, a 9%, 10% budget, so, you'll get it up on the web, you can take a look at it, and then the next, Mary, it's the next meeting or the following meeting?
The public hearing will be October 23rd.
Okay.
We don't have a full board at the next meeting.
All right, any other discussion?
Just still, one other thing that I would say is, from the sheet that I got here, the vast majority of the homes throughout the town are actually assessed at 200,000 or less. I mean, think of what your assessment is in your particular thing. And I'm taking the 200,000. Say your house is assessed at 200,000. If you live in the village, your taxes are gonna go up presently, the way we have it now, $31.91. If you live in the town, your taxes will go up $69.42. So.
For the year.
For the year.
Right, so, I mean, I know there are homes that are assessed higher than that, but a big majority, I believe, are under the 200,000. And therefore, when you look at the percent, you look at the actual dollars, it's a very small amount in dollars.
Keeping in mind, still underneath what I would have paid in 2015. Anybody else, any comments?
No, I just want to thank everyone for their work on this. Jen, you did a great job. So
Yes, thank you.
It was not easy.
All right, so we set a public hearing for the 23rd.
Are you guys gonna adopt the tentative as your preliminary?
Yep.
So you wanna do that?
So motion to adopt the tentative budget as a preliminary budget of 2026.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Roll call.
Roll call.
Councilmember Gallo?
Aye.
Councilmember Florio?
Aye.
Supervisor Gotcha?
Aye.
Councilmember Lyons?
Aye.
Councilmember Catrina?
Aye.
And then set the public hearing for October 23rd,
At 7 PM.
7 PM.
Need a motion?
Yep, I have a motion to set the public hearing for October 23rd, 7 PM.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, roll call.
Councilmember Catrina?
Aye.
Councilmember Lyons?
Aye.
Supervisor Gotcha?
Aye.
Councilmember Florio?
Aye.
Councilmember Gallo?
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is to review the exemption impact report for 2026. Any comments from the board on it? It's just a,
No?
all right, so I have a motion to adopt the exemption impact report for 2026.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Review and approve the September 11, 2025 town board meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so the next item is discuss and approve a recommendation of a 10% penalty on outstanding balances of 500 above that will be re-levied on the town and county tax bill. This is for water and sewer, correct?
Water and sewer.
Yeah. So as you're aware, we have 4 billing cycles,
Right.
and quite a few people have been putting this into their tax at the end of the year, which is causing us stress on the quarterly basis. So we decided to put a penalty in place that, hoping that they see and they would get back to a normal standard quarterly payment.
Just a question.
Go
I
ahead.
know that legally they're not allowed to do that.
I
I
certainly know
know
that.
they leave it on the tax bill and so on and so forth, but I know legally if they go for an audit or whatever.
Roughly, we have about $200,000 a
Year.
year from the
Right.
water department that gets re-levied.
Right, I understand that, but what I'm
Yes.
saying to you is,
Oh, yeah.
the people that want that re-levied into their tax bill, it's illegal to use that as the deduction.
For them,
And-
but
yeah,
it's totally
for
legal
them.
for us to levy it.
No, for them.
Yep.
That's number one, so everyone knows that even though they do it, legally they can't do it and use it as a tax deduction. But the second thing is I wanna make sure we're okay assessing a late fee or whatever you call it legally.
Yes,
Yeah,
we are.
we are definitely capable of adding a penalty to a late payment.
We can't?
We did have it for 1 year, before COVID, and we stopped it because of COVID and the
Right.
hardship on people.
Right,
So now we'd like to bring it back.
and it's not a problem legally to do that,
No.
okay?
I called about 6 municipalities in the area, and either they do it or they charge penalties and interest throughout the year. They don't do both. So we don't
Understand.
charge penalties and interest throughout the year, so we decided to go.
What say you, town attorney?
The thing is, I will, I'll get you a
What?
100, I'll get you a 100% answer. It wasn't addressed with me prior to.
Okay.
It was up for discussion, and then if it was favorable, I understood it to be legal, but I didn't put it through
Okay.
didn't get presented to me. So.
Okay.
But I will address it.
Okay,
So we're under the assumption now that we can just do this by board resolution. Correct, we have to.
Okay.
Yeah, we've done it in the past by resolution.
Well,
It's conditioned upon my,
Yeah.
my review, but, which is not.
yeah, I have no problem with it, I just wanna make sure that we don't get ourselves in trouble, that's all. Assessing,
No, that makes sense.
and it's the 10%, I don't know if there's a percentage cap or anything like that, so we should really know what, yeah, there we go. That's
We
nice.
can table this till October 23rd because it doesn't go till it
Which
goes
was-
in with the budget.
Yes,
for the county.
yeah, no, I know, it's just a separate item, but I just wanna make sure that the amount we're charging them and the charge that we're assessing, how
So-
it works, so.
So rather than pass it, let's just table it, let the attorney have time to revisit it, make sure the 10% is legal.
For the amount and the actual assessment, yeah.
Yeah, it's only, the balance is of over $500.
But, yeah,
That's just about everybody.
Yeah, right,
Right.
it doesn't take much. to-
And that's also a
500.
condition you can look into as
Yeah.
far as balances go.
Okay.
You know,
Noted, thank you.
you know.
All right, so we'll table that till,
Yeah, next meeting, right?
Wait, and did you see a quorum issue on the next meeting, or,
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna have Phil and we're not gonna have Joe at the next meeting,
okay,
so
all right.
What's the next meeting?
October 9th, you're away.
Cruise, you said.
November 1st, I'll be here.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, it wasn't
Oh, you
October
told me
1st.
October.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I did.
All right, so you're good to put it on the next meeting, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Just to
sorry.
be clear.
We're leaving November 1st.
So, October,
Ninth,
Ninth.
October
All
9th.
right, I'll
Yep.
be
Yeah.
ready.
okay, next item on the agenda, we visited this last year, we're revisiting it again this year. So it's a review and discuss the increase in the senior tax exemption, bringing it up to meet the county at $37,399. We're at 32,000, Jen? What are we at now in the exemption? 32? Oh,
That's an assessor's.
oh, I'm sorry, yeah, Aileen.
37,399, is that in the agenda?
Yeah, 32. So it's an increase of 5,000 to 37,399. It affects roughly 50 people that live in the town.
All right.
Any discussion on it? From my personal point of view, I spoke with Aileen, to a resident who stressed the fact that the loss of that revenue puts her in a predicament when it's time to pay her taxes, of either paying her taxes and not getting her prescription. So I think it's an important thing that, you know, 50 people who are stressed out about a $5,000 exemption. I think as a town, we have some responsibility to at least try to fix that for them.
That's a pretty low bar to begin with, for people to live on, so.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's two towns that are up in, Chester's in the $55,000 range, so it's, you know.
Yeah. You want a motion? I'll make a motion.
Any other discussion?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Second.
I make a motion that we accept the increase in senior tax exemption to $37,399.
Second,
Second.
roll call?
Yes. Councilmember Gallo?
Aye.
Councilmember Florio?
Aye.
Councilmember Campanino?
Aye.
Councilmember Lyons?
Aye.
Supervisor Betcha?
Aye. Okay, next item on the agenda is acknowledgement of the receipt of the DEIS for IWS and discuss a request for an extension from the applicant until February 24th, 2025. Sean,
Friday, October 24th.
what did I say?
February.
Wow,
Right ahead.
I'm giving them more time than they need. I apologize. Friday, October 24th. Thought these glasses were working.
We're both gonna be away then.
All right, so the DEIS was presented, it's that
Yeah.
monstrous book inside. In fact, Neil, yours is in there, if you want to pick it up tonight.
Thank you.
So what we're doing tonight is just acknowledging that we received it and granting them the extension to the 24th.
And Sean is reviewing it.
Sean has reviewed it already and will
Do you need a
have
motion on this?
excuse me?
You need a motion on this, or?
Well,
Yeah, a motion
Yeah.
to ask for the extension.
A motion to extend till Friday, October 24th.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So Neil dropped off a letter from Sue. I thought it was a really good letter. Unfortunately,
Very good.
what?
It was very good.
We have been working on this for almost 4 months with the state Association of Counties and Towns. I kind of fast-tracked it, not to take the momentum away from Sue. She did a great job putting a great letter together.
Yeah.
But it is something that we were reviewing, and you have in front of you 2 resolutions. One is a resolution,
One resolution.
One resolution, one local law, and a support letter.
no, we have 2 resolutions, right?
No, one resolution,
One,
one local law, and one letter.
Okay. One letter.
Yeah.
So I got them backwards?
Got the letter.
Yeah.
well, we're,
Go ahead.
we have documents prepared, but we're a little procedurally a little out of order. 'Cause
Okay.
We've,
So
you can
we're-
have the discussion
All right,
tonight.
so we'll go ahead in support of the biosolid ban to Senator Skoufis and Assemblyman Moore.
Right, that part, but the local law is an introductory local law, it wasn't presented to the
Correct, so
board, so it's gotta go to the next meeting.
Correct.
And I'm just,
Yeah,
sorry.
gotcha. Yep, no, I got that. So, in front of you is a letter of support on Assembly Bill A6192 and Senate Bill S5759, a moratorium on land application of biosolids. So it's just a letter addressed to Senator Skoufis and Assemblyman Moore that we're in support of a ban. As I understand it, we can't pass a law that bans it completely. All we can do is put a moratorium in. That's what other municipalities have done. So this is a letter in support. I don't know if anybody has any concerns or questions. If not,
So
I read it.
legally, what do we have to do?
So legally, you've now been presented a draft of the introductory local law, at the next meeting, if it's satisfactory, and if any feedback during that time, obviously I'll take in, but if it's satisfactory, then set it down for a public hearing.
Okay.
Regular procedure there. The resolution's already drafted for when and if you guys move forward. I'll just adjust the resolution to match whatever changes in the law.
so,
But this,
we need a motion to.
Send the letter.
Okay, so I need a motion approving the supervisor to sign and send the letter to Assemblyman Moore and Senator Skoufis.
So moved.
And I need a roll call on
I'll
it.
second it.
it's currently in the, I'm sorry. My bad.
No. Councilmember Cantorino?
Oh, aye.
Councilmember Lyons?
Aye.
Okay.
Councilmember Flora?
Aye.
Councilmember Gauss?
Aye.
Supervisor Betcha?
Aye.
Just noting that the support letter is important because it's stuck in the state system right now, not being passed.
Correct. According to the Association of Counties, Director Aquario said that it's up for a vote in the next session when they come back in. They think they have enough votes to ban it. Some counties have, Albany County has already banned it. I believe Rensselaer County also has already
Well,
banned it.
there were like 8 or 9 of them that already had moratoriums and
Correct.
bans on them already.
Mhm.
So.
The law is important to fill the gap in the event that it sits there.
Right.
Yeah,
No, that's good.
by allowing to put biosolids down, and anybody that wants to read Sue's letter, it was a really good letter. You know, it's, you know, what you're doing is you're trying to prevent PFAS and you're putting it right back into the ground because all those biosolids are loaded with high content of PFAS.
I mentioned to Joe at one particular time, now I'm the historian on this board, 30 years ago, they proposed the same thing. We had to have a meeting at the Hooker Building. And what the proposal was is this biosoils to actually reduce it to solids and then chisel it into the ground. And we had engineers and it's the same thing coming back just under a different heading. And at that particular point, we did reject it. So just so you know that this had been proposed and the information was incredible. All the damage because you have heavy metals and all toxic material that come in with that soil and they chisel into the ground. So just so you know that, been there, done that already.
All right, so next item you have is review and approve the moratorium opposing the land application of biosolids.
Put that to the next meeting, right?
What's that?
What?
Resolution.
The resolution's got a hold, that's tied to the local law. You
Can't listen.
do you wanna send us a letter of support, you already
Sent the
put it
letter of support, right, but then
Yeah.
in my bundle, I have the resolution that we prepared.
The resolution's pre-prepared to match the
Okay.
local law, but it's not something to move forward on tonight. It's gonna be tied more towards the procedure with the local law.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, when I reviewed the, local law, because I think you said you're looking for input, right?
Yes, sir.
Is this basically, this is what you've reviewed this, and this is what is gonna be?
That is our starting point. There's a couple pieces that I already would like to add to, but I didn't wanna confuse the board. I would like to let you guys digest it.
All I wanted to say was, I think the penalties are on the low side.
There they are, without question. I think it should be about,
A corporation, $1,000,
Yeah.
I'll do it anyway.
You're in this exact spot I was,
And then the severability clause is not
I
sufficient.
just was seeing if you read it, George, that's
Yeah.
all.
And there's no-
My little test.
And there's no superseding clause.
I got you.
The fines.
Definitely have.
You can verify the fines, but I think they're set by the state.
You can't exceed what the state's marks are,
Yeah,
but
I think that's what the
seem
state-
exceedingly low from first glance, but
I reviewed it, and that's what Albany County has passed, that's the level that they passed, so I think that might be the state max.
I'll get that.
Just
I mean, that's the
verify.
language in Storyman County that I pulled the penalty stuff from, they passed it, and that's what they passed it at, but I don't know what, it's different economics up there, maybe.
Well, it says not less than 1,000 and not more than 5,000 for each offense, so it looks like there's a,
Right, but, you know, one offense could cost millions, right?
Yeah.
Theoretically, so, but I don't know that, that's at the board's purview. I'll let you know where you're capped at, but I don't have that info yet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we'll table that.
No.
Next item, we're on finance. Discuss and approve a motion to authorize the supervisor to pay accounts payable check run of September 25th in the amount of $293,420.78.
So moved.
Second,
second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Discuss and approve a motion to authorize the supervisor to pay manual checks in the amount of $14,590.97 for September.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Review and approve a budget transfer year-to-date September 15, 2025. It's in your packet. Any questions on that?
No.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
That's for information.
It's information. I don't think we need a resolution.
Well,
No, you have to approve budget
yeah,
transfer.
budget transfers we have to approve.
Oh, okay. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Information only. Budget Officer Blazin submitted an AP run for
That's what I'm.
September 25th, 2025. What?
No, we didn't.
You missed one.
Yeah, we-
No.
I thought we did the first one already.
You did the first two,
What did I do?
and the last one was for information. yeah.
You're good.
I got some.
Well, I thought it was February, so I'll, I'll chalk it up to,
I'm sorry, Jeff.
what did I do wrong?
Nothing.
Jen was wrong, Jen was wrong.
Okay, moving on to that favorite time of the night, privilege of the floor.
What, did you want me to just go over the Erie Park
Yeah, sure.
update, or?
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
That's right, you met them the other day.
Yes, okay, just very, very briefly, Erie Park, a lot of people ask about what's going on with the park. So the basketball court and the pickleball, courts have been paved. We're waiting for the playground equipment to arrive. That is sort of the last piece of the puzzle. It should be in next week in the States, and then we have to transport it here. There's gonna be time for that. Rick had a meeting with them yesterday, the playground people. We had to tweak a few things, but for the most part, it's ready to go, so.
Do we have any timeframes for ribbon cutting? The reason I ask is the basketball people reached out to me.
Yeah, I don't know, hopefully by next week. Once the playground equipment is here, they'll have a better idea on when they can deliver it, because they have, control over that.
Mhm.
Right now, they're sort of waiting for it
To
from
land.
overseas, so,
Is the bathroom functioning?
Not yet,
not yet.
not 100%.
Well, it's basically done.
It's done, the facilities, the
Right.
toilet and the sinks have to be installed, the meters gotta be put in,
Right.
but it's ready to go.
Yeah, but the pipe into it,
Yep, it's all there.
or is
Yeah,
it?
it's all there, sewer, water.
Yeah, but also just know that the park is still closed until we can get everything. I know the other day I drove by and I saw people in there, so the park is closed. Big sign, the park is closed, so if anybody wants to go to a park, Prego is open. And there's also basketball, gambling too, so.
Very good, thanks, Melissa.
Yeah, sure.
All right, privilege of the floor. Mr. Healy.
Lead off. Good evening, my name's Chris Healy, I'm a resident of Town of Goshen. I am aggrieved. Just 14 days ago, I stood at this podium and I spoke of the new proposed commercial water district. And if you'll remember my comments with that sense, every time I asked, and there have been numerous times I've asked, I've been told that nothing was happening. Just days later, Mr. Supervisor, you made a public announcement that an application for the new water district has been submitted. And that sure don't sound like nothing to me.
Well, at the last board meeting, you asked me if there was a $10 million line item going in the budget.
And so I think back to, I had to be about 12 years old when I was taught that what it is to tell a lie of omission. You know you're supposed to say something, but you don't. It's a lie of omission.
Well,
And when
I'll go
I'm
back
here
and-
talking, we're talking about the water district.
I'll clearly go back and look on YouTube, but I thought your question to me was, is there a $10 million line item in the budget? I said, no, there's not.
Mr. Supervisor, if you're going back to the YouTube videos, go back to all the times that I've asked and go back to all the times that you said, as soon as I know something, I'll let you know. So I got tired of asking the question, you got tired of hearing the question. So when I'm speaking of it, I become, I find out that, well, you had 5 of you up there had an opportunity to say, hey, Chris, since you're talking about the water district, something is happening. But nobody said anything. That's an unforced error.
Well, I'll go back and share with you the email when I got the data from the attorney that the application has been submitted. It'll be clearly after that meeting that you asked me the question.
I find it hard to believe that at the last meeting, 14 days ago, nobody on this board knew that an application was being submitted. That's simply not believable.
But I'm confused, Chris, quite honestly, I'm confused because did you think nothing was happening? Did you think that, the $50,000 we spent on attorney's fee, like this was going away?
Well, I don't know, because every time I asked, hey, what's going on, I was told there's nothing going on. Nobody's talking about it. You weren't in the meeting at the particular one, but Mr. Deputy Supervisor Lyons chaired the meeting, and I asked, and Deputy Supervisor Lyons said, we don't have any information, nothing's being done. I've spoke to other council members, I've spoken to the town clerk, and I've been told time and again, there's nothing to say because there's nothing being done.
Well, no, I think that's the wrong terminology. Not that there's nothing being done. There's nothing being done at our level, but there's stuff being done with the attorneys and the engineers that we paid. You clearly understood that because you were complaining that where is this money coming from? When I told you we borrowed it from the B fund, you were concerned in making sure that it was going to go back into the B fund, and I assured you that. So we were allocating money and spending it. We weren't hiding that. But I didn't have an answer as to when the district was going to be formed because I didn't know.
Mr. Supervisor, I think you're gonna have a difficult time convincing anyone that has sat in this audience to feel anything other than we got a little duped here. Because I've asked straight out. I've asked straight out what's going on. Again, 2 weeks ago, members of this board had the opportunity to say, hey, there is some movement, there is something going on. I think it was an unforced error. I think there's a credibility issue, and a lie of omission is still a lie. This is the reason people hate politicians.
Chris, no, I think that is inaccurate. That's an accurate assessment. We had never lied about anything. This board the public is fully aware of the fact that we were trying to form a district up there. Now, we have people that don't want the district because they don't want warehouses and things like that. That's not gonna stop the warehouses from coming. They'll just put septic and wells in.
So why don't they?
Flat out works. You know that.
I thank you for hearing my comments.
You can speak out. Come on.
Anybody else like to speak?
Hello, Wendy Morrell, resident of Goshen.
I just wanna circle back, I was a little confused about the K-9 unit that actually works at the Legoland.
Doesn't work at Legoland, it's part, they go there occasionally.
So who pays for that?
The dog was paid for by money from Legoland and a grant
And a grant, and the
Yep.
police officer gets paid by whom?
by the town. He's an existing officer, he was an existing part-time officer on duty here, 20 hours a week. That's what the dog is, 20 hours a week. It's
So
part-time.
it gets paid normally by the police department.
Correct.
So, I mean, Legoland makes millions of dollars. How come they're not paying for this?
Well, they give us $2 million a year in Parkland, they give us $2 million a
That's
year.
in taxes.
No, not taxes, that's where you're wrong. They give us almost $600,000 a year, up to $1.2 million in a host fee. They give us $1.1 million in hotel tax, or $700,000 in hotel tax, and then their tax bill.
And
I think
Which
they
they
should.
Joe,
We,
Sorry.
Legoland pays for the services when PD's up there, we bill.
Correct.
We bill them.
Okay, all right, so good, there's my answer.
Yeah.
But they're not paying specifically for the dog to be up there. So they do pay $35,000 a year for officers to be up there. But I
Okay.
think it's an important thing in the amount of money that we get, almost $2 million a year.
It is, and I just wanna make sure that the cops get compensated for
Of
that.
course.
Of course.
Yeah.
And of course, that they will get overtime or time and a half every time
Absolutely.
they're
make
there.
money.
They make money, so good, yes, thank you so much.
You should go down and talk to them, go down and talk to the chief, go down and talk to, Mike Vasquez, they're well taken care of. Bill?
Bill Troy, Town of Goshen. So I've been attending these meetings for, I don't know, about 5 years now, and I am still a novice, so I have a question. A lot of the subjects I find them to be very, very interesting, but with the amount of information that I hear here, I know relatively nothing about them. I mean, the bio stuff, for example. And there's been other things, and I'm just wondering if in the interest of transparency, we could have documents made available to us on the website or whatever, the way that the agenda is made available. I think it would go a long way maybe to answering some of the questions that people have because of lack of information or misunderstanding or something like that. Just a thought.
No, absolutely. The biosol thing came up real quick, Bill, just so you know, as I said, Sue wrote an extensive letter to us on that, and I just want to make everybody understand that we were working on something, it's not like we weren't working on it, and we kind of rushed it to get it done because she wrote this great letter, and I wanted to make sure she knew that this is something that we've been working on for 4 months.
And I'm actually meeting with a company Friday that will help me set up agendas so I can attach documents.
Great.
That's great.
So
Okay,
it'll make it more transparent.
And you're right, that would be very helpful, because I remember when I was in your position years ago, and you have to sort of piece it together.
Yeah.
Sometimes we go at such a frenetic pace, we know, because we live in this world and we've already reviewed the documents all week. So when we sort of talk about it, we have already, worked through it, so, but that's a great idea. This way you can really understand what we're talking about.
Right.
There's a lot.
It's not gonna help them.
Depends who's speaking.
Anna Wildrick, Town of Goshen resident. I just have a question on the increase to the senior deduction. Why is there a income level on that?
On how much they can make,
Mm-hmm.
it's what each individual municipality has as a law. I don't know the exact reason why that we have it, but we have it so that it reduces their taxation.
Why shouldn't this, why don't you think
Should be
about
zero.
reducing the school taxes? Senior citizens have no kids in school.
I've always said that, I know.
That's what the STAR program.
Yeah.
We're supposed to do.
Yeah, I wish we could.
There's nothing we
Actually,
can
the school
do.
was already at 37,000, that's another reason why we looked at it, to go even with the school and the county. But listen, I think seniors should pay nothing. I do.
That would be
I'm a
really
firm
nice.
believer of it, I really do. There's gotta be a way to find it. Find a way to find, I don't wanna get into a debate on school because I always get myself in trouble about it, but I concur and agree with you. If there was a way to eliminate school tax for seniors, it should be done.
Thank
Is there
you.
a way to get a reduction in the school taxes? for
Well,
some?
STAR program does that.
I mean, like a sizable.
The problem is, $37,000 is peanuts. So if you make $37,000, you can make that on your pension.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you can afford to live in Goshen.
No.
So I concur, I agree with you, but that's out of our control. We have no control over the school budget.
Talk to about that with that.
School board.
School board.
School board.
I mean, if you look at what you pay on, you know, what I pay for the total town tax this year, well, last year, 2015. Last year, my county tax was 1,400, my town tax was 406, and my highway was 941. So if you're paying I'm paying $1,100 for what I get from the town of Goshen. I think that's a phenomenal bargain. Now, my school taxes are $11,000, that's a different story. That's what takes you over the top.
Especially when you don't have any rugrats in the school.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we don't play a pace, and when people have kids in the school, they have to pay extra to carry the weight. I don't think there should be
Other
nothing
states
for the
do that,
school.
but not New York. Massachusetts does it, there's not
Maybe
time.
if we had more motivational voice, that.
Shots fired, I mean, I cut my hair, guys. One step at a time, I'm motivated to cut my hair.
I went nice because the hair is definitely.
I didn't think I was gonna catch
Very nice. You're looking very GQ.
Thank you.
Neil.
Neil Howard, I think I somewhat owe an apology for being excited before about the tax cap, and I do apologize for that. I still am excited about it somewhat, but I really think I think you can do better than that. I know you can do better than that. I know Doug used to be almost too tight, and I would say times when he had the budget and went negative, he was not paying for things that he should have been paying for just to keep things going along. So I think there has to be a balance there somewhere. On behalf of Sue, I do thank you for looking at going forward with that. She is very concerned about it because particularly some of the biosolids are possibly being spread around some of our municipal wells. So that's a real big concern on her part. And if it's not municipal wells, it's also going into the aquifer or into other people's wells. So there's a really big concern about that on her part. She's been working on that with the Altory landfill and other things like that. So I'm glad you're going forward in that, and she's probably at home dancing because she's probably watching this.
Listen, I wish you'd spend more time here. I wish you'd come in and see me once in a while, because we're aligned with, you know, with protecting the town. We're not gonna do anything that doesn't protect this town, especially environmentally.
Okay, just as a follow-up on IWS, that IWS is not waiting for the town, the whole thing with IWS is not waiting on the planning board, we're waiting on IWS.
IWS, yes.
I mean, IWS is the one they're gonna be getting the DEIS back into us. So it's not the planning board, it's not the town board, it's the IWS. And yes, it is frustrating because that law really is there, that we should put the tipping fee, and it gets dropped every so often. And it's because IWS, I think, just drags its feet until we forget about it.
January 1st, and once their application is finished and they're moving forward with their build-out, they start paying us $1 a ton, $65,000.
Start paying us, or they pay retroactive to January 1?
They pay from the time frame when they got the approval to start.
Yes,
So they're gonna build, it's gonna take them a year to build anyway.
Retroactive?
But that's why it's pays for them to drag their feet.
Neil, remember, they gave us $200,000.
And they owed us that from before.
They
I
owed
think-
us money
okay.
from before, but they didn't owe us $200,000.
Well, we can debate those numbers, but anyhow, I think we certainly, it's about due, and I think if we look at it really, it's worthwhile for IWS to drag their feet for another year, because they're gonna get this, they'll get the DEIS, and then they'll go and do an FEIS. So that'll be another 6 months, a year. They can drag this out forever. and
But they're not
avoid
trying
paying
to
us.
drag it out. They wanna go as fast as possible.
They're not paying. I mean,
It's $65,000, it's peanuts for them.
No.
$1 a ton is peanuts for them.
dollar a ton is $300 a day, $15,000 a week, 75,000.
Right, and they're collecting $90 a ton tipping fee.
Sure, and that's why I don't understand, why would you simply look at them and tell them, hey, you owe us this money from the law? But anyhow, we'll get beyond that.
I'll try to do an illustration on how much they owed us going back 15 years.
And also our enforceability issues would be in play, so.
Yeah, true.
Okay, the other reason I was concerned about expenses too is because just this year we passed an ambulance district, which is gonna go on to our taxes some. And I know you're talking about, charging everybody to collect garbage. I know you
See, I'm charging them.
No,
An
yeah.
RFP is going out, that's it, a request for
Okay.
price.
I thought it was a little bit expressed beyond that, you're talking about creating a district or whatever, for collecting garbage. I certainly expressed, I don't want it, I don't need to do that.
I think that came probably from me, because I was looking into whether that was
Needed.
necessary to
Okay.
do it, not whether it was a choice or not.
Okay,
So,
I-
but I'm on hold until,
I'll express my
don't get excited.
reluctance to it. Okay, I'm gonna go home and drink now.
This meetings will do that same.
Welcome to our world.
I can understand. Okay, and there's some of the other concerns with the expense is that last year I understand we bought a number of pieces of equipment for the highway department. Sweeper, grader, loader, no, not a grader, I'm sorry.
Excavator.
An excavator or loader?
We
whatever.
bought a loader from John Deere, we
Right.
bought an excavator from,
And then, who got the $90,000 pickup? $90,000 vehicle.
we ordered two $45,000 pickup trucks.
Okay, that may be the answer, because it shows up as $90.
Correct.
Right.
90,000 on your thing, it doesn't say
Yep.
two, right? And so those expenses are not gonna be there this year, I hope, we're not going to all that again. So it just seems like we're not gonna have some of the same expenses as we had this year. And I do recognize that you have worked on it hard, I just think you can do even better. I have more faith in you than that. Thank you.
Anybody else like to speak? No? Okay. Do I have a motion to close the town board meeting September 25th, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Have a good evening.